The United States is getting ready to screw over Ukraine on another level after it was revealed, thanks to multiple reports, some from the Financial Times, some from Axios, some from Politico, that the United States has been secretly working with Russia on a 28-point plan for a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia, but it did not involve Ukraine. And in it is some major concessions, which essentially just gives Russia everything that they want. What the report states is that Steve Witkoff, the U.S. envoy for peace negotiations with Russia, had been meeting with Russian representatives as recently as October to break down said plan. And in it, this is what Russia would get. Okay, first, Ukraine would cede territory currently occupied by Russia. All the land. Ukraine would give up certain weapon systems because Russia, they want security guarantees, even though they're the ones who invaded Ukraine. Then, the size of the Ukrainian military would have to be reduced because Russia is worried about Ukraine, and then there'd be security structures for European eastern flank, which would be rewritten. What does Ukraine get out of all this? Doesn't seem like anything except for just an end to the war, which is a war that Russia started, and they should be punished for what they've done. But it doesn't stop there. In another report from the Financial Times, and I want to read this here, it says this would stipulate that Russian be recognized as an official state language in Ukraine and grant official status to the local branch of the Russian Orthodox Church, provisions echoing long-standing Kremlin political objectives. And I really want to read some of the quotes out of this, which says here, a person familiar with the document describes it as a very generic document that was, quote, heavily tilted towards Russia, was another person who called the plan very comfortable for Putin. According to the Axios report, they supposedly passed over this plan over to Ukraine for Ukraine to review, who, I mean, obviously looked at this and went, what? You're secretly negotiating with Russia plans that are pretty much just giving them everything they ever wanted. It almost, in a way, reading all this stuff makes it look like Russia is the victim in all of this, when realistically, it is Ukraine who's been countlessly attacked, civilians being murdered every day, including today, in which whole families were murdered in Ukraine after Russia decided to slam a residential building with cruise missiles. Yet for some reason, under this plan, Russia is getting rewarded, which is the most royally screwed up thing the United States can do to Ukraine. I take that back now because it turns out, as I'm recording that video, the only positive voice inside the Trump administration, which was Keith Kellogg, just announced that he's leaving his post in January. This is a major win for the Russians because now the only person that was fighting for Ukraine inside the Trump administration is now leaving. Not sure if this is something because of what Trump wants or if it's something that Russia wants. This is breaking right now. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on this, so please do share this video and follow me for more.